Attention gamers. There are two types of people in this world, those who look at the AP scaling ratios on ADCs and think that while abilities may be cool, taking that right-click button to the push prom is even cooler. These are the right-click Randys. Then there are the people that see these voluptuous green numbers and decide to grab League by its toxic testes, slapping the Magic Mike stripper bow tie on to show that AP may just be the key to feeling glee on an ADC, because once you have felt the power of one long-range jizz wiggler, the only thing you'll want to do is fire off another. So in this video I put the witch cap on this cauldron carrying midget to give Tommy Tiptoes something to count down to.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And then I get down and dirty on this blonde beauty to first-hand show a right-click Randy why these AP ratios are nothing short of Jesus Christ on a cracker. But first, I would like to tell you a short story about today's sponsor. The other night I was here, casually feeding and getting flamed in League, and my wife was standing over here telling me that she wanted to buy a freaking giant glass egg as a new decoration for a room. So I asked her how much it would cost and she said to which I cried holy but happy wife happy life, so I pulled up my YouTube earnings to check our budget only to see another fat one of these. So I decided to interview some sponsors. I called the first candidate into my office and hit him with the classic question, "So tell me about yourself," to which he replied,
I am Raid Shadow Legends, a turn-based RPG game that can be played on PC or mobile device where you collect champions, level them up, and take them on missions to slay other mobs, bosses, and other players. I take pride in being entertaining and having a high proficiency in artwork and graphic design, which is far superior to many of my competitors.
So I looked through this overachiever's resume to see some of these credentials. 25 million downloads, over 2 billion PvE live battles fought, 216,000 clans created. What's a clan, I asked, and he answered by saying,
Clans are like big families of players that work together and enjoy features and benefits like fighting together against clan bosses, participating in clan activities, reaching achievements together, and trying to rank up.
Then I followed up by asking what his favorite clan he has ever been in was, and he said,
Oh, that's easy. It was one of Rav's 4 clans called the Naked Eskimos.
Ah, the Eskimos, good answer. So then I tried to stump him by asking, tell me how you handle situations where someone needs help progressing in your game, and he didn't hesitate to answer.
Oh, I have huge active communities on Discord, YouTube, and Twitch, to help players in need.
Welp, that answer was good enough to make me warm in the pants, so I ended the interview by asking if there was anything else he would like to add, and he said,
If you give me a try by clicking the link in the description below, you will get awesome rewards like 100,000 silver and this totally badass champion Grumbler, who is a total beast in the early stages of the game.
The interview went well, and thus I chose Raid as my sponsor today, so freaking click the link so my wife can buy her glass egg and I can get back to feeding in League. Okay, now for all you timestamp tit lickers, this is the moment that you have prioritized the whole purpose of your life around. Flash those timestamps in the comments like your PSA pussy drying face depends on it, and the rest of you slap that upward thumb button and subscribe for more. Now a lot of you are probably going to wonder why the games in this video are going to be played in the mid lane, so I decided to show this scene from the show called Rav's Autofilled Supports Have the Intelligence of a Rubber Band. As you see, the chubby mud shark single-handedly decides that the best play at level 1 when they are about to hit 2 first is for him to walk through a pile of hooded smurf dicks right into 2 of them, forcing me to bail the bozo out with a heal. Then I am casually kiting back with flash in my pocket when he decides that licking a minion and then running straight back into this shitfest I just saved him from is the best option. So yeah, it was a mid lane kind of day for me. And since I didn't have to endure the stench of a dumbass Kench, I knew that without her smoky donut to hide in, I could hip hop my way in to light this pink ponytailed freak on fire and put the D in KDA Akali. Then I decide to take a little day trip down bot just to see my team send Mr. Countin to the fountain, as I come in to tell this little pixie shit that there's only room for one midget in a wizard cap on this rift, and the bottom of my ass landing on her head says it's going to be me before I grab my cash and hop away from that piece of stone that clearly can't take a joke. The pirate thinks he forgot to unplug the ironing board up top and asks me if I can check it out, so I run up only to see Troll Kingdom Barry Bonds and some moron thinking we are playing capture the flag. I eagerly front flip in to meet them as the slugger gives me a trophy for murdering his friend before I hop over to tell him about these dope shoes I can buy if he coughs up 300 more gold. We catch a little sick crab in river and try to nurse it back to health, but it has an unexpected reaction to penicillin, so me and the boys are just going with it at this point before the thing spear tackles a statue and dies. I try to cheer everyone up from losing our pet by doing my best Lee Sin impersonation before ending the stupid shenanigans, ha. And letting that troll smell this baby bunny bum hole for the double. We see the roided up Papa Smurf swinging his bat at Drake like it's a piñata, but unfortunately he loses a smite battle against our support, so we all make fun of him till he dies of embarrassment. Then the armored pole vaulter ground pounds the sickle slut and she thinks spreading her own ass gas will keep her safe, but we execute a swift search and destroy. The sped slugger gets caught in the act of performing fellatio on a jungle camp as Greedon IV so generously decides that he would rather have 2 red buffs for himself instead of giving me 1. But don't worry guys, it's not like he ran straight to the nearest enemy to hand deliver that buff straight over to them. That said, it all worked out because I planted a pumpkin on some dead bitch's head and then showed the others how far I can jump before bugging the banner boy into bestowing me with the buff that originally belonged to me. I get in an odd threesome which results in them only paying attention to each other, so I just try and jerk off the one in the ninja cosplay as Gangplank shows a strong aversion to exploding his own barrels. Then I decide after he dies that it may be time to do damage before parkouring out, only to be followed by the tall Oompa Loompa doing a snack and smack on my ass. We are all peacefully grouped up mid until Jin shouts for and Jarvan thinks he was calling him by name, so the two of them exchange some words and I join in only to see the spinning sickles ready to shitter my stink hole, so I do a belly flop pumpkin pop safety hop to do the dirty work and get out. I see High Noon McCreef trying to keep it taco mid, so I do a quick surprise shabba dabba ding dong only to auto attack the wrong target twice, which ends up turning into a hobbling shitfest of uncoordination. But we still got that W, boys. We come up with the idea to put flyers out that there's free big league chew in the river, and sure enough Blueberry Bonds gets baited in like an inbred fish, and then we play a quick game of overextend and forget about the backline assassins before regrouping to assess the damage. The big kids insist on a bush orgy, but I would rather have some alone time with the psychopathic opera boy without having to deal with his annoying friends. Another fight breaks out and you already know I am going straight for the other midget that stole my damn costume idea. She deploys a little trampoline for my landing, so I thank her with homicide. Then I hit Tommy Tiptoes with a quick surprise bet you didn't expect to see this magic midget as I chase, only to hit a flash and blast on his ass out of my sight before scoring some style points by collecting my pay with the delay slay. One last team fight breaks out where, aside from another targeted tunnel on the other tiny tyke, I had literally zero impact on the fight as I just hopped around and fired off little decorative auto attacks at the rest of them. But this small victory allowed us to visit some wise old dragon which taught me how to wing whack the weak ones, and I used this power to bring us home the victory. So now the only logical thing to do would be to hop on the second mage with big boy AP ratios and show why normal mages can't keep up. The second game starts with me on my boy Twinkle shit against some blue skinned bald ass architect. I dress him up like Kiana and then shift shitter in to take a photo, but a cat lady startles him and we both miss the shot, so I opt into lighting him on fire and stealing his money instead. Then I am just overextending like a double jointed elbow with 2 charges on my warding totem and less vision than a blind mole rat as the bloody booger snot rockets in. I underestimate how lanky his long goopy arms are as he face masks me, and I am forced to hit him with a bush burst to call it an even trade and trigger people into commenting that I am wrong and stupid for saying such a thing. I slap my tight jeans on and flaunt my e-boy ass in front of 2 of them to bait the booger in for a grab, only to say surprise Chris Hansen and the crew are all here forcing the bloody lung butter to bail out before we get his face on camera. Then Catnip's long range sticks a toothpick in the alien as my sped ass decides to burn flash just to lock in a whopping 75 assist gold. I see a glowing ash hole like I'm watching a Preparation H commercial, so I put the hemorrhoid with hair out of her misery. This prompts a fail fest with me running from water crotch and pathing worse than the stereotypical white chick in a horror film, but luckily Big Baldy forgets about the part where he can cage and cuck me, so I get away. He continues to chase and I continue to be incompetent, but a final shift shitter helps finish him off. Then Obama's wife gets her nut, and after one more donated mystic shot, I quickly realize that if I miss any more skill shots in this clip, the elitist mindset that League community breeds will force you to click off this video, so I shout audience retention rate and land my first skill shot of 2020. But instead of backing to cash in my 3 Gs, I stick around to provide more evidence to Riot that solo laners having a 3-level advantage over bot is some affirmative ass mud monkey bullshit as we take her down, and I cut the clip before you can see the goo face murder me for having zero map awareness. Back at mid and Obama's wife feels the need to tell my jungler that she is more of a dog person, so we decide to rewind time and abort the bitch as the Kool-Aid man goes full bouncy house only to immediately regret his life's decisions and bail out before I bomb that booger with a banana to bank that bread, bitches. I chase away Megamind and then respond to a call about some giant walking blood puddle clotting up the river, so me and Kitty Tits zoom in with our Gugon to clean it up. Then I get word that Tornado Teresa is in trouble as I see her do a desperate queef quake to save herself, so I launch a big spectral mouth guard at Malding Marcus before catching up to Hedoween warp into Hextech Homicide for kill number 1. I play the fight slow because I know one wrong move and that skipping gerbil will spit some shit in my eyes until the next thing I see is the fat merchant in the fountain, so I wait for Gooping Gary to snot rocket himself away and then I make my move with a miserable miss into blink and burst combo to slay the shorty. Then in the middle of my afternoon jungle jog I run into Obama's wife, so I ask her to deliver a message to her ADC for me. The message read, "Dear dumbass with no vision or mobility, the second I am done waiting for my cooldowns behind this wall, I am going to run in there, eat your ult like it's a shitty snack and then take that tight ash to Pound Town. Sincerely, Rav." I am just casually overextended when that period puddle comes plopping in so he can stick his nasty hand to my back before forcing me to give Kaisa a kiss, which I kind of like, but she clearly didn't consent, so I turn away from the crowd for a sec to tuck my boner under my legs and then I come back pretending to be upset. The little booger babies come out, but I have my eye on bigger, balder, and bluer things. In this next fight I just had too many strategic options for how I could enter the battle, so I instead opted to run in a straight line toward 4 of them, failing to dodge a single ability, but the power of a full AP translucent banana was enough to bail me out. I joined the fight against fleeing Felicia's so that I can show Ricky the rune goon that Senna's fart cloud won't save him, and then I chase until some furry chode decides to do half my health with a point and click ability, so I catch a suntan from the green beam before running mid and Amazon Prime delivering a giant ass glowing banana hammock to the White House ho. I am off leading a movement called Overextended with no objective when the Harrier of Horribleness gets stunned, cucked and taken down as I lay it out for Legolas's wife only to miss the money shot. So I see if she'll take a bite out of a big boy, but the bloody booger eats it all instead. Back to the clickbait clip from the intro. Here I show the power of a full AP ratio plus Infernal Soul by showing the obsolete Archer die before half my abilities even get a chance to meet her. Unfortunately the cat was mischievous and just kept getting herself into trouble, so even though you could practically call me Papa Penicillin for all the mucus I cleared up in the game, we still lost, to which I will say, teamwork makes the dream work, which is why the league community is what needs a rework. Now huge shout out to everyone supporting me by watching my sponsored messages, buying my merch, and sugar daddying me on Patreon. Let's continue becoming the fastest growing community on the platform and race toward that 250k milestone. Pet your dog, jerk your ween, buy my merch, join my Discord and brush your teeth tonight. Rav out.